Hey everyone, I'm Christina. I am the owner and founder of Christina's Counseling and Recovery. I am a nationwide mental health provider. I provide therapy in Texas and recovery coaching nationwide for any client across the United States. I specialize in treating addiction, eating disorders, and personality disorders. Over the last 10 years of my career, I work with clients who have been diagnosed with all three in all different types of settings. I have experience in prison, foster care, residential care, rehab facilities, corporate program oversight. And I've even lived with clients in their homes with their families for up to 30 days at a time to really walk through them of what recovery looks like and what healing looks like. And so I definitely understand the complexities and the level of demand that it takes to be able to treat these kind of disorders, as well as support the families who have been severely impacted by this. So, because of all my experience, my practice is really solution focused based and very cognitively based as well. So, I focus a lot on perspective shifting and awareness building. Awareness building is super important to me. There's a study out there that talks about when the general public is asked about their emotional intelligence and their level of awareness, if they believe that they have that, 95% of the population will say that they do. Once they get tested, and so measures were given to assess their level of awareness. Can they track their triggers, their pattern? How deep can they go with their emotions? And does their perspective match what other people believe about them or have a perspective about them as well? Or if it's at least close enough, only 10 to 15% of those people actually fit the criteria, who proves to show that they are both aware of their emotions and emotionally intelligent. So this leaves a big gap. And I think we can see a lot of this within our own lives and within our community, where people believe something about themselves or they believe one thing, but they act a totally different way. When we look out in the community, we can see people dissociating, living on autopilot, our loved ones saying things like, oh, I wish I could change that, but I don't know how. Or, yeah, I do that, but I don't know why. Or maybe that's just who I am, or that's just how it is. Those kind of sayings that we hear is really disconnected to the internal power that we actually do have. Of once we become aware of the things that we need to change, we learn how to. But it's the cliche saying of you can't change what you don't know. So my practice is very heavy on being able to bridge that gap with my clients and the people that I work with, so that they can understand that there is true power in controlling their actions and their behaviors and their intentions. And so today I do want to share a very simple exercise with you guys that will clear up your intentions and your goal setting and making sure that you're executing on the things that you really want to execute on. I want this to be a resource for somebody or anybody that, even if you don't have a mental health diagnosis, this is going to apply to every intention, to any goal that you can imagine. So I did want it to be something that is super accessible and very easy to use. So I created this chart called the Intention Solution. And so this is inspired by Dr. Peter Golowitz. So he is a psychologist who focuses on intention implementation. And so basically a fancy word for extreme goal setting, being able to plan it out to the point of execution where you actually accomplish every goal that you have set out and understand the barriers that come within that so that you can overcome those as well. When we talk about goal setting, that's usually the main thing that people either do or don't. And so this is going to help you uncover what that goal is, what you do to get there, and when you don't, what do you do then? And so step one is the dream. So we can all do this one. We can all say we want a better life. We want to recover. We want to eat better. We want to go to the gym, any kind of goal like that. I know you probably said it. I've said it. We've all been around people that set goals, but haven't really met them. And so this is going to show you why. So first we'll start with the dream of what is your goal? Make sure that it's clear on the intention and be very specific. What is one small thing that you want to improve, and how do you want to feel when this is done? So the main question that I ask here is, why are you even setting that goal? Why do you want to recover? Why do you want to go to the gym? Why do you want to eat better? Why do you want to do whatever it is that you're trying to do? You need to clearly answer that question, because I just got a bad report from my doctor and I care about my health, or I want to grow more muscle because I just feel better to know that I'm stronger. I want to recover because I don't want to die to my substances. So whatever the powerful statement needs to be, we need to be clear on that. Number two is a step that really a lot of people miss, and this just has to do with the lack of awareness that most of us struggle with, is what keeps you from that goal, especially if this isn't the first time that you're trying to do this goal or assess this goal. So, what's the usual obstacle, the temptation, the trigger behind what keeps you from completing this goal? What holds you back? That is going to be your if statement. So you ask yourself, if my typical excuse comes up to not act on my goal, what will I do differently this time? So for recovery, it's like, yeah, I don't want to use, but when I get around my friends that are using, or when I get around family and I want to drink a little bit of alcohol, or I just want to have one wine with dinner, like whatever that is, that's going to be your if statement, that if I get invited, if I see alcohol, if I rather just sit on the couch and not go to the gym, if I rather just order fast food instead of make a healthy meal at home, whatever it is, that's going to be your if statement. That's going to be the barrier. That's going to be the thing that's going to stand in between you and actually accomplishing your goal. Step three is connect your barrier to a new forward moving action. And this is your plan. So this is your new autopilot statement. If whatever your barrier is, then I will. And that's your new action. What can you do to cross the usual barrier and make it so easy that you can't say no, or that, nah, I don't want to? Just those very simple statements of what can you do differently, right? So if the people call you and you're trying to go through recovery, no, I don't want to go to a bar. No, but do you guys want to come over here? I'm trying to maintain this. All right, if I get the urge to stop and get fast food right before I'm going to meal prep for myself, right? I want to call a friend so she can hold me accountable and be like, hey, I'm like struggling with this, and have somebody support you. So anything different that you can do that you haven't done before, and truly haven't done before, that can support you through this. Number four is the mental rehearsal. So you're going to rehearse this new statement of my if then statement that I want to do, right? So I'm going to continue my recovery, and I'm going to say no when I have these temptations. I'm not going to go to bars. I'm not going to go to the city. I'm going to keep it at home. I'm going to cook for my friends and family here. I'm going to express to them that this isn't something I want to do, right? I'm communicating. I'm changing up my environment. I'm setting boundaries. Like, these are all tangible things that people need to do in order for your goals to be met. And if you have a supportive environment around you, these people should follow through and support you in what you're doing. So you being able to rehearse, like, I know I need to get better. I know recovery is important to me. And you can talk about this with your community, with your friends, with your spouse, with your therapist. If you don't have a healthy community, you can journal about this. You can meditate about this. There's so many different things that you can do to make sure that you reinforce this message. The difference between people who actually accomplish goals and those who do not constantly have their goal on their mind. And now it's not anything that's obsessive. It's not anything that's out of control, right? That's not the only thing they think of, but they think about it daily. It's part of what they're doing. It's part of their values, it's part of their day to day. And these are the people that you might see, oh, they make their goals look easy and they accomplish everything. And it's like, it's not that easy to do, but the consistency is the reward that's being paid off. And so they want to go back to that. So reminding yourself and really looking and feeling, imagining yourself being able to accomplish this goal. What is it going to look like when you do this? And what is it going to look like 3 months from now, 4 months from now? What are you going to feel? Think about the relief, the pride, the accomplishment, and all of this thinking and all of this positive affirmations that you're giving to yourself that you can do this and you're going to show up. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. And you're going to have to do things when you don't really want to do them. But anything worth gaining, there's going to be some work with it. And so all of this kind of talk, reframing, which I focus a lot on in my sessions, strengthens those neural pathways for you to continue to keep this in the forefront of your mind, and you're just not functioning on autopilot, confused on why, oh, I said today I'm going to work out, or I said, oh, I'm going to eat better today, and it never happens. And you're stay confused on kind of why you're not completing those. So number 5 is the goal. Follow through even when resistance shows up. If you don't meet your goal, own the miss, acknowledge it, then reassess what got in the way. Keep facing the truth behind your hesitation. It will eventually fuel you to move forward one step at a time. So I'm a big harm reduction person too, just because I come from the background of addiction. And so we can't expect people to change all of their habits and change their whole lives in a day. And we absolutely cannot expect them to do that without any mistakes, without any mishaps, without any misses, and just not showing up for yourself sometimes. I think the best thing is that when you miss, though, is don't ignore that. Don't act like it didn't happen. Don't act like, oh, well, no one's going to notice. Like, you should notice. Like, you should be the main one that's worried about this. And you being able to own it and acknowledge, like, wow, I set this plan. I addressed my barriers. So clearly there is a barrier that I didn't address, or there was something here that I didn't notice or didn't care about. And when I work with clients, we get deeper and deeper and deeper into like, do you even care about this goal? Like, is this your goal or is this somebody else's? Like, did someone tell you to do this? And what are the things that you're willing to accomplish or not? And so it can get really deep into their core values. And they can really look at different patterns that not only do I not accomplish this, or this is a similar barrier in other areas of my life. So the best part with this is to give yourself some grace. You are still learning, you are still adjusting, and goals take time, they take consistency, and they just need you to show up more times than not. So the more you use this flow chart, you'll be able to kind of track where your thinking is, where your barriers are, and barriers can change, new things can come up. So this will be a good way for you to be able to have that reference point to at least just know where to start. And so at the bottom of this page here, I have some tips of where to put this and other apps that can help you with habit forming, and even like meditation or incorporating other things to your day-to-day life that will just make you feel better and do better and perform better, be more focused, like whatever it is that you want to do. So at the bottom left here is to make your new plan stick. We need to put it where you'll see it. So right, if you don't think about your goals, if you don't plan out your goals, if you don't care enough about your goals to keep them relatively in the forefront of your mind, then you're just not going to do it, right? Out of sight, out of mind, out of your awareness. That's autopilot, that's dissociation. Like, you're just not going to do it. So different placements of your bathroom, your front door, your fridge, your bedside table, your workspace monitor, they should be placed where the goals should be happening to give you those verbal or those visual reminders and to be able to see it. I have clients that put them all over these places because it's a whole lifestyle change that they're trying to work on, but it works and it keeps it in the forefront of their mind so that they're focused. Digital placements too, right? If you don't want anything tangible, you don't want paper, you can put it in your phone, you can put it on a lock screen, you can save it as a file, you can set reminders to remind you to look at it. There's sticky notes apps, there's all kinds of technology that we can use to where we don't even have to think about reminders anymore or to accomplish things or to get goals planned out and scheduled. All of that can be done for us to really offload all the thinking that goes with trying to complete this for yourself. And then I've included some habit building apps too, that can track your apps, that can provide a little bit of that dopamine hit and celebrations and cool things that you can use to just keep you motivated and keep you engaged and really interested in what you're doing and just understanding more about yourself through this process. And a side note here, so remember, you don't have to wait for motivation. You don't have to rely on willpower. You just have to follow your plan. You are the director of your life, and this is your blueprint. Use it daily, share it with someone you love, and stay accountable. You got this. This page on the back just gives you different plan examples of different if-then statements for different kinds of goals and categories. These might fit you. You might want to use these, but this is to set you up so you know what your if-then statement is supposed to sound like and how detailed they're supposed to get. The more detailed, the better. The more markers that you can set yourself to meet, the better it's going to be and the better outcome that you'll see from these examples. So I hope you guys enjoyed my intention resource today. Be sure to download it. It'll be completely free for you guys to share with your family and friends. And if you are looking forward to diving in more into the architecture of your own mind and being able to build a foundation like this for yourself, and go deeper into the things that you're trying to work on as well, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, to find me online, to connect with me. It is my job to serve you. It is my job to provide this education and these opportunities. I believe everybody deserves an opportunity to get here. I believe everybody can get here and be able to build on skills like this. So it would be an honor to join you in that journey. But until then, I hope you guys take care. Thank you for showing up today for yourselves, for your loved ones, for the healing community, and I wish you guys well.